Hello, Internet. This is JD coming at you with episode 4 of Deadliest Warrior Recap. Okay, again, I've been watching the show most of my life, and I was watching it and I saw that some things that they were doing. I'm like, you know what? I can't hold my tongue anymore. I need to speak on this, go over some things that they do wrong, they do drastically wrong, and I think they get wrong. Okay? Today's episode, I'm going to do an episode 4 of Season 1, Pirates versus the Knight. In this battle, they have the pirate winning with 629 kills to 371, and I think that is absolutely and dang near impossible, and it should be almost reversed. Okay, and I'll explain why. First off, and I've said this before, and this is a constant opinion I have, when you have armor, all your weapons are that much more effective. Because all you have to do is touch the opponent, and they're dead. When you are the opponent with no armor, you have to avoid every kill shot because you have no armor to protect you if you have any kind of margin of error on any swing or hits or whatever. And on top of that, your opponent has armor. So you can't just like, oh, I avoided it, now I cut you down the chest. Plated steel, okay? Knight goes in the battle and they have a broadsword, okay? Is a one-handed big sword that is paired with a shield, okay? Plated armor. Plate armor. Impenetrable steel armor for the most part, and I'll go over that here in a little bit. A halberd, and if you don't know what a halberd is, it's about a 8-foot long pole. It is an axe head on one end, a pike on the other, and then a sharp spear end on the other. Okay, so you can stab, you can cut down with it, or you can actually like grab someone's spear and pull it back. Okay, so the halberd is very useful. It's a pole arm. It's a long, like 6 or 8 to 10 foot pole arm. Crossbow. Crossbow has a range of about 70 yards, 250 feet, about 70 yards. And the Morning Star is a weapon. I don't like it personally. It's a stick with a chain and then a ball with spikes on it. It can be swung and hit. Okay. The Pirate. Now again, keep in mind, every weapon I'm about to tell you has to go up against plated steel armor, and they don't test this properly, but the Knight also has a shield. Okay, so Knight's is not going to leave a shield, okay? A cutlass, a boarding axe. A cutlass is a sword similar to the broadsword. They're both about the same. Broadsword is a little heavier. Boarding axe, which is basically an axe with a pike on the end. They tried that. It's very an ineffective weapon in this battle. Blunderbuss, which is basically like an old school shotgun. A flintlock pistol, and a granado, okay? I'm going to go ahead and go over all the pirates' weapons and why they're ineffective. First off, I'm going to go over the Knight's plate armor, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and go over this too. I got to reiterate. The way that these battles are supposed to be laid out are both warriors are put on a battlefield 100 yards apart, and they see each other and they go at each other. That's the way that it works out. So both people have a chance to use range if they want to before one or the other or both close the gap, okay? A cutlass is an effective sword. It's a good sword. I'm not going to discredit the sword, but it's not an effective sword against a broadsword. Wait, I want to go over the armor. I apologize. Plated armor. Covered. Everything's covered. And wherever your joints are, okay, for example, like right underneath your armpit, they have chainmail. Chainmail over the neck, underneath the helmet, right underneath your butt, they have chainmail, so on and so forth. So plated armor everywhere where your vitals are. Chainmail covering your joints so you have a little bit of flexibility. Yes, the armor is heavy. Not going to give any kind of debate on that. But again, it's armor. It's supposed to be heavy and it's supposed to protect you against any strike. So the cutlass, though it is a good sword, and it's actually it's not made to be a heavy sword. It's made to be a sword used in close combat because you can stab and thrust in close combat, and it's not a super heavy sword. Now that's important to me because the 3 things I think you should test on every weapon, if it's a weapon that this can be tested on, is blunt force trauma, cutting, and stabbing. Okay, cutlass can cut and stab, but they can't cut and stab through plate armor. So that cuts it. It can stab through. It can stab through the chainmail. So you gotta get around the Knight, all of his defenses, and then get to these spots to kill him. Okay, to stab him. Okay, so one of your abilities of your weapon is out the door. And I believe that, in my personal opinion, the second ability of the weapon is also out the door, which is the stabbing can be done, the slashing cannot, and then the blunt force trauma. Blunt force trauma, in my opinion, is completely useless because it's not a weighted weapon, and you're going against plated armor. You're going to see later that they take gunshots, and it doesn't do anything to the armor. It doesn't do anything to the person underneath. Well, they don't test. Let me rephrase that. They don't test whether or not the plated armor, if it gets hit by a bullet or something, what kind of impact it does underneath. They don't test that. So, but it bounces right off. So I would assume none. Therefore, a cutlass is not going to be able to create any kind of impact, considering the amount of velocity behind a flintlock pistol is much different than the amount of velocity you're going to get behind a cutlass sword. Boarding axe is the same thing. They tried to use a boarding axe to say it could cut through a helmet. It did not go through a helmet. It made a little dent in the helmet where there was a hole, but that hole did not go inward and into the skull of the knight. Okay, so both those weapons, in my opinion, are rendered completely useless. I'll give the pirate credit for the fact that they are faster, and they can get this kill shot in here with enough time if they're able to avoid the knight, because the knight is wielding heavier weapons, and they are going to be significantly slower. I'll give it that. I'm going to go over another weapon real quick, and then I'll get to the two that I still don't think are going to be as effective, but can't argue too much with the results. Let me see here. Flintlock pistol. Flintlock pistol. It says it gets 41 kills in the simulation. I don't even think it gets that many. They tested this. First off, there's misfires. Second off, flintlock pistol, shooting at the armor where all the vitals are, bounces right off. Bullet doesn't penetrate. So, unless you're getting up really close, which if I was the pirate, I would not want to get anywhere near close to the knight. They're armored. They have better weapon in close combat, and they have armor, and you have none. So I wouldn't want to get close at all. But the only way I see killing is if you're able to open a guy's face mask and shoot him in the mouth, or you get him up underneath your vitals here, or your arms. It can penetrate ringmail. They have tested that in the past, so gotta give that credit. Now, the two weapons I want to talk about the most are the blunderbuss and the granado. The blunderbuss is an old school shotgun. It's a pistol. It's a big pistol. It's about this big. It's heavy, and it shoots with a lot more gunpowder, and it shoots a lot more. Basically, it's like a scatter shot. Basically, is the best way to put it. It's an old school shotgun. It's one shot. You only get one shot. You don't have time to reload. Okay. This is what the test does, and I'll tell you where the test, in my opinion, fails. They tested it and fired it 4 times. There was 2 misfires. One had no armor, so obviously it penetrated the whatever the dummy was. It penetrated the dummy, and then they tested it with armor, misfire, and then they tested it again, and they actually got a shot off. It looks like whenever you do the slow-mo, about 10 pieces of metal came out of the gun. Out of 10 pieces, 1 piece penetrated, 3 others bounced off, and the others completely missed the target totally. Okay, that to me is a 1 in 10 chance that a gun that has a 50% chance of not firing could kill. There's no way the blunderbuss gets 352 kills with a weapon that you don't even have an option, a possibility of getting through the weapon unless it's shot maybe in the perfect spot. For all we know, it's a perfect spot. They should test it a couple more times. So that's the first thing. Second, a knight has a shield. A shield on a knight is plated steel, and it's thicker metal than the actual armor that he's wearing. It is thicker metal than the armor he's wearing. So not only does the blunderbuss have to go through one layer of steel, being the armor, he has to also go through the shield first to get to that. And I don't think it works. I don't think it does that. They didn't test this, but I'm confident in my personal opinion that I don't think it makes it through both. It barely made it through one. I don't think it makes it through both. If you're fighting in a situation where your opponent does not have the shield, you might have a point. Okay? But I haven't even got to a weapon that the knight has that can counteract that weapon and makes that weapon useless because you may never get to use it. Okay? And then the last weapon is the granado. The granado is like an old school grenade. It's like a little clay pot. You light it and it blows up. Okay, I guess you can throw it or whatever and it blows up. They did this test. Okay, first off, they did the test wrong. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm kind of nitpicking here. They did this test wrong. They did not put pressure mats underneath the pig skin with the armor on it. Okay, they did not put any kind of like shockwave patch. I do see a shockwave, but there's not enough conclusive evidence to prove whether it can kill or whether it's just going to knock you on your butt. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second, they tested this in the most ideal way you can possibly test it. It's the pig's hanging there with the thing 3 feet from it. You're literally within 3 feet of it. So you guys tell me that the pirate is so awesome. He's going to light it, know exactly how long it's going to be till it blows up, throw it, and it's going to land right in front of the pirate's chest. Not counting the shield, not even counting the shield, but it's going to land right in front of the pirate's chest, blow up at its most optimal way to blow up, where the pressure wave goes equally dispersed, and it doesn't even kill the guy. No shrapnel gets to the armor. Okay, no shrapnel whatsoever gets to the armor. They say the Granado it can cause concussion or shockwave or that, but they don't prove it. They don't prove that is any kind of pressure wave tripped or whatever case it can be. There's no shrapnel, so on and so forth. And again, didn't even test it with a shield. Okay, so I do not believe the Granado is as effective as they say it is. Okay, and one of the arguments they say, well, like, oh, once the knight's disoriented, the pirate's going to run up and kill him. The pirate's going to be nowhere even close to them when that happens. The shrapnel from that episode went 30 yards. 30 yards, not feet, yards. So the pirate's going to have to throw that and then run to make sure he doesn't get hit by his own freaking grenade. Okay? So he's not going to be able to close the gap after he throws the damn thing. He's going to run, make sure he's out of distance, let it explode, and then maybe he'll run, and that gives good 15, 20 seconds for the knight to stand back up, gather himself, and prepare to fight some more. Okay? I'm just saying, you're not going to have that. If you throw it, the best case scenario is you throw it perfectly and it lands in front of him on the ground. And then it explodes. And then you're concerned about you're losing half your pressure wave because the pressure wave is going to go down and then someone's going to go up. Okay? Actually, a lot of it's going to go up because it's going to go down a little bit and it's going to create a little bit of a gap and it's going to funnel all of it straight up. It's not going to funnel it out. Okay? They tested this on Mythbusters. It's true. Okay? And then, again, shrapnel. A lot of your shrapnel is... It's equally dispersed for the most part, but you're assuming that they test that in the most ideal spot, which is right in the middle of the pig's chest. Okay? So, I don't think it's as effective. There's no way it's effective. Now the knight... I'm going to go to the knight stuff. Broadsword, it is a weighted sword, so in my opinion, it doesn't really matter in this case because the pirate has no armor, but it is a weighted sword, and it is a very effective sword. It is a very good sword. The cutlass and the broadsword are pretty much the same. One's a little heavier, that's about it. Halberdian is a long, not like a spear, but a long weapon, okay? And a lot of the weapons that the pirate needs, first off, flintlock pistol and the blunderbuss, or one shot, and they're done. Now, I've talked about this before. Here's where I think you're going to be walking into battle with. You can walk into battle as a pirate. The cutlass and the boarding axe you can always have on you. I'm fine with that. You can actually probably walk into battle with all this stuff. The flintlock pistol, blunderbuss, granado, cutlass, and a boarding axe. Boarding axe and flintlock pistol, in my opinion, are completely pointless and useless, so it doesn't really matter. Granado has the potential to penetrate. The blunderbuss has the potential to penetrate, and the cutlass can still penetrate and kill if you get it in the right spot. So the pirate is one of those fighters that can walk into battle carrying just about everything. Most of them actually carried multiple pistols historically, so they could potentially carry all those things, but you're going to have an issue when you go to... you have to set down 3 of your weapons just to light the granado. Just throwing it out there. So back to the knight. The knight has the halberdian, which is a 8 to 9 foot polearm. Again, your opponent has no weapons, or no armor, so you're able to keep the opponent at bay. You can stab, you can slash, keep him from you. If he's trying to get closer to get that blunderbuss to be more effective. The blunderbuss only has an effective range of about 10 yards. Okay, 10 yards, 25 feet. And at 25 feet, of the 10 pieces of metal that came out, 1 hit the target, 1 went through the armor, hit the target, 3 bounced off the armor, and the rest of it missed the armor completely. Okay. Crossbow is the next weapon. This is where a weapon I think that gets way undersold. That crossbow has a 200 to 250 foot range, and it has a range that's about 70 yards. So you look at a football field, get on one end zone, and look at the other 30-yard line. That's 70 yards. Okay, you have that much time to shoot at the pirate to potentially kill him, who has no armor, before he gets in range to shoot his blunderbuss or his flintlock pistol. Okay, or maybe his grenade. He probably throws grenade a decent distance, but you'll probably see it coming and you can get out of the way. That's my issue with the grenade. It's not like you can just toss it 5 feet away and you're gonna get a kill. Okay, and then the Morning Star, which I don't really care about the Morning Star. It's a weapon that's erratic. The only thing I'd say about it is it's unpredictable because you might go to block it and you still put it up in the chain, and then the head of the Morning Star whips around and still hits you. So that's where the weapon has its benefits. It's its unpredictability. But again, the armor is going to be a huge factor in all this, and this is why I do not think in my heart of hearts, in what I saw on the test and what I would imagine them having a shield, that the knight's armor would not be penetrated after a metal projectile if it goes through the shield. I don't think it goes through a shield. So let's say it goes through the shield. You've lost so much of that energy penetrating the shield, it's going to bounce off your armor. It's not going to kill you, the blunderbuss. Grenado, you have the same kind of impact. If they prove that there is the pressure wave can kill you, we have a discussion about this then. Okay, I still gave them a lot of the credit, I should say, in my breakdown of what I think the scoring should have been. I still gave them a lot of the credit. The weapons are still effective. They were weapons for a reason, but I still don't think that the pirate wins because they don't prove that their weapon can get through 2 layers of plated steel. Now again, this is where the show kind of irritates me because they don't bring on weapons that make the fighter more effective. Bring on weapons because they want to have them tested because they look cool. Okay, the Morning Star. Who the hell needs a Morning Star? They don't test the shield. That's the thing. So, without further ado, I have the knight winning this. The pirate, the Cutlass got 25 kills in the initial testing. I'll give it that credit. I'll give it another 25 kills. Boarding Axe gets 1 kill to me. I don't understand how you can get 13 kills. Does not make sense to me. Out of 1,000 tries, I do not think you can walk into battle with a Boarding Axe and you're going to be able, as a knight, as a pirate, to kill a knight with a Boarding Axe and you can't penetrate his armor. You can't. Okay? Blunderbuss, I still gave it a decent amount of kills. Because the knight is not going to always have the shield, I gave him the benefit of the fact that in the Blunderbuss can be fired at the right time when the knight doesn't have his shield up. And let's say the knight has the halberdier. He can't protect himself. So he doesn't have his shield. So I gave him 200 for the Blunderbuss. Blunderbuss gets 200 kills. The flintlock pistol, I don't think it gets 41, but I gave it 25. And the Grenado, for the same reason as the Blunderbuss. I think the Grenado, personally, I don't think it's going to kill. I think it sets up a kill. But I gave it 150 for the kill, which leaves a total to 401. Okay? Now, the Knight, you have a broadsword for 176 kills. I just think your opponent has no armor. You can flail wildly until you hit them, and once you hit them, they're dead. You hit them anywhere between here and their waist, and they're dead. They're not going to be able to avoid it forever. Okay, especially if they want to get in and get a kill. Plate armor, its effectiveness is just outstanding. Halberdier, I gave it 108 kills. That's exactly what I had in the last one. I don't see it being a weapon that they would go to because the Knight either wants them at far away distance, where like 50 to 60 feet, 50, 60 yards maybe, or they want them super close. You don't want them in between because in between is their firearm weapons, and their Grenado can also be used in between. Really makes the Halberdier wouldn't be the ideal weapon to use. So, in my opinion, if I was the Knight, I would totally ditch the Halberdier and just use the shield sword with the crossbow mixed in. That's personally what I would use, and I wouldn't even use the Morning Star either. But you have to mix all of them in. So I see the Halberdier as being one of the main reasons why the Blunderbuss gets a kill, but they don't want to set the Blunderbuss, so the Halberdier gets 108 kills. Crossbow gets 250 kills to me. They really undersold this weapon. Its range is 4 times that of the longest range weapon that the flintlock pistol the opponent has. Okay, much less they can penetrate. The flintlock pistol has a range of about 50 feet. Okay, 20, 25, 20, about 20 yards, but can't penetrate the armor. They proved that. Okay, blunderbuss has a range of about 10, 15 feet, or 10 to 15, 10 yards. I think 10 yards is probably the max or the maximum distance away where you could still probably be effective. Crossbow has a range of 60 yards. That's 6 times as much as the blunderbuss. It's about 3 or 4 times as much as the flintlock pistol. So I think that the crossbow would be more effective, used more effectively to kill from a distance before the pirate closes into his mid-range game. And then the Morningstar, I gave the Morningstar 65 kills because again, your opponent doesn't have armor, so I gave a couple more to kind of even out the numbers. 599 kills for the knight. So the pirate gets 401. The knight gets 599 kills. And again, if you don't believe me, go watch the episode and then try to debate with me what I'm saying and what I'm seeing. Okay. Without further ado, that's it. My name is JD. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is a Deadliest Warrior Recap, Episode 4. Episode 5 will be my last episode for Season 1. I'm not going to do an episode about Back for Blood, which was where they took the... Actually, I will do an episode, so I have 2 more episodes left this season. Alright? See you.